You are currently accessing a classified Foundation Threat Assessment briefing. Today, we are reviewing the parameters, timeline, and residual anomalies associated with SCP-3935. The information contained herein is strictly restricted to personnel with the appropriate clearance level. Please ensure your localized auditory monitors are functioning correctly before we proceed. We are going to analyze the anomalous phenomena that fundamentally altered a localized population.
For incoming containment specialists, the threat assessment docket we're covering today is structured as follows. 1. Containment and spatial properties. 2. The timeline of paranormal escalation. 3. The Friday spatial trap. 4. Entity taxonomy. And 5. Cognitive and auditory threats.
Section 1. Containment and spatial properties. Operation Salvation.
The physical containment protocols for this location are absolute. We've erected a 2-kilometer quarantine zone around the center of Salvation, Indiana. Total civilian evacuation was implemented, resulting in a population of roughly 1,400 individuals being permanently relocated. To maintain operational secrecy, we are actively disseminating cover story 3935.18, which cites a hazardous waste disaster in the area. Due to extreme environmental hazards, any subterranean exploration is currently forbidden to all but Class D personnel.
Regarding the anomaly itself, SCP-3935 is defined as an extratemporal, extraspatial, non-Euclidean space. The primary access point is located exactly 25 meters beneath a collapsed section of the subbasement, directly under the Salvation High School swimming pool. Its internal geometry is impossible.
Hello?
The anomaly's influence extends far beyond that physical origin point, having fundamentally contaminated the entire town. At the threshold of this anomaly, our researchers discovered a small antechamber containing a buried stone arch. Inscribed on this arch is a phrase not found in any known literature. It reads, "The way below winds deeper, longer, unspeakable its patterns laid. The lost forever deep to wander, this thing a quiet madness made." The origin of this architecture remains under active investigation. Section 2. The timeline of paranormal escalation as documented by the UIU Field Report from June 1976. The primary anomalous activity occurred during the week of June 18th. On Sunday, students began reporting voices trying to speak from beneath the ground. By Monday, a third voice began speaking unintelligibly beneath the standard lunch announcements, and students noted their mirror reflections had become completely faceless. Moving to Tuesday, 9 female figures hanging by ropes were observed near a flagpole. Later, in a biology class, a student's eyes rolled back before he phased completely through the solid floor, only to reappear later dropping from the ceiling. Escalation continued geometrically as the week progressed. On Wednesday, the high school inexplicably flooded with 2 inches of water. A dark figure was witnessed walking upward through the air at an impossible angle until it vanished. By Thursday morning, the entire school physically shifted 1 foot off its foundations. During this structural anomaly, the boys' locker rooms entirely disappeared, replaced by what witnesses described only as something that screamed. That afternoon, 9 young women were observed suspended 25 meters in the air above the parking lot, silently mouthing words. Section 3. The Friday Spatial Trap, detailing the June 23rd mass event. Upon arriving at school that Friday, the students were drawn inside. The interior space had become entirely non-Euclidean. Moving toward the back of the building invariably directed them downward, deep into the earth. The entire mass of students was suddenly teleported outside the spatial pocket and encased in solid rock and earth for 20 seconds. Following this burial period, they manifested in the sub-basement, where they were subjected to distinct subterranean visions. These included a weeping woman digging until her hands rotted away, and a burning farmhouse surrounded by hanging figures. Immediately following these hallucinations, the students were instantly displaced back to their respective civilian residences. Section 4. Entity Taxonomy. We will now review the classified threat actors. Our taxonomy isolates 3 primary threat actors from the event. First, the 9 women. These are visually unremarkable female figures hanging by ropes. They were observed silently mouthing words, though they began screaming upon their Friday manifestation. Second, the black humanoid. A small, dark, human-shaped form exhibiting erratic, spasmodic movements. It is entirely capable of phasing through solid matter. And finally, the syncope student, an unknown entity carrying a purple satchel with the word syncope embroidered on it. This entity exhibits strong anti-mimetic properties, meaning witnesses are completely unable to recall any of its facial details after observation. Section 5. Cognitive and auditory threats, and the implementation of Chemical 110. During the outbreak, the entire school reported hearing a voice whisper this singular word into their right ear at exactly 7:56 in the morning. This auditory hazard, repeated later that afternoon, broadcast from beneath the ground in a child's voice to the majority of town residents. It is classified as an objective threat datum.
To conceal the sheer scale of the outbreak, the Unusual Incidents Unit administered an early model amnestic known as Chemical 110. This substance is highly toxic and causes severe damage to human memory centers. In a 2002 Foundation interview, former English teacher Mrs. Valerie Fletcher clearly demonstrated this cognitive decay. Her ability to discern reality from the anomaly was completely shattered. She frequently succumbed to the localized auditory interference, interrupting her own testimony to address a voice only she could hear.
This briefing concludes with a critical anomaly parameter that requires ongoing investigation. Foundation threat analysis has highlighted a persistent mathematical discrepancy. During her interview, Mrs. Fletcher identified the 9 hanging female figures from photographs, stating they were the high school's cheerleading squad. However, she also confirmed that there were 10 cheerleaders on the squad. If 9 are accounted for as anomalous entities, where is the 10th?
Briefing terminated.
This concludes today's briefing. If you wish to maintain your current clearance level and ensure continued access to the Versarian database, a subscription to this channel is mandatory. Secure your connection by leaving a like on this file, and log your requests in the comments section below to dictate which anomaly we unseal next. Stay vigilant and expect your next set of logs every day. Secure, contain, protect.